So guys, today back from another video on the channel. Today we have the Newcastle United versus Sheffield United preview. A massive one on Sunday, back in Premier League action, and Newcastle United got a tough test away from home at Bramall Lane. If you want to subscribe to the channel, it would mean a lot. Leave a like, and yeah, in the video today we will look obviously at Sheffield United, look at Newcastle, give a prediction and whatnot. A little bit similar to the AC Milan game on the Sunday. I think I'm going to be watching the game, not in the house, so the video might be a little bit different on the phone and whatnot, just to let you all know. Anyways, let's get the video now, and let's start off by looking at Sheffield United. So then, Sheffield United have had a tough start to the Premier League so far. Haven't won a game yet, but they've looked promising in some games, but it just hasn't really got clicking for them yet. Obviously, Paul Heckingbottom, I think their gaffer is under a little bit of pressure, but I wouldn't say nobody gets sacked yet. They came into the league probably aiming for 17th, and no disrespect to Sheffield United, but looking at their team, they have made some good signings, they have, but I think they had to do a little bit more. But let's have a look at their team from their last game. So bottom of the top, one little fact for you boys, Chris Basham actually went to my comprehensive school. Obviously he's from up here and whatnot. I think he went to Gateshead or Gateshead College, and then he went to my comprehensive school, so there you go. But their team so far, they have struggled to score goals so far this season. Sheffield United only scoring 5. It's not the worst, but in their game so far this season, first game of the season, lost to Crystal Palace, and then lost to Nottingham Forest, lost to Man City, drew to Everton 2-2, and then obviously had that dramatic game against Spurs. But their team, let's have a look now, boys. So one player I think is looking a decent player is Cameron Archer. He came from Aston Villa, scored in that game versus Everton, but done quite well. Ollie McBurney is a player that I wouldn't say I'm a fan of, but he will miss the game versus Newcastle unless their red card does get rescinded, which I don't think it will, which I think is a bit unfair. Paul Heckingbottom was not happy with the referee against Spurs. He's been sent off for saying the players pulled my shirt, which is right. The players pulled his shirt. He's went the ref gone, like, what the fuck, basically. Obviously they've just conceded 2 goals. There's going to be a bit of an initial reaction, obviously, but not worthy getting a second yellow, absolutely no chance. But Gustavo Harmer, what a player. Obviously was at Coventry last season. Obviously I followed the Championship a bit, and he was the main reason why Coventry got right to the very end in their promotion push, obviously against Luton in the final. Obviously throughout the whole season, through the playoffs, he was the reason why they got there, and obviously got that move to Sheffield United at a Premier League club, and scored 2 goals so far this season. He scored the goal against Spurs, and obviously scored that goal against Nottingham Forest, a lovely goal. He's looking like a very good player and adapted to the Premier League quite well, but the rest of their team is a bit unsure. James McAtee, I think, is a very good player and whatnot, but it's the defence for me. Basham, I don't even want to try and pronounce his name. It was yeah, and then Robertson, who I haven't really heard of, 30 years old. But even looking at their bench as well, Sheffield United, it's a bit, you would think you want a bit more. Obviously a lot of players there who were with them in the Premier League before they got relegated. Obviously they've got a lot of injuries. Oh my god, they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 players out. Ryan Brewster's one there, fucking hell. Couple of players there who could probably be back for the Newcastle game, but we'll have to wait and see. Obviously I've seen some speculation as well that apparently they could bring back Chris Wilder. I kind of see that happening, but you never know. Sheffield United, obviously they are a tough team to break down. At Bramall Lane, the atmosphere will be there and whatnot, and obviously last time we were at Bramall Lane, obviously we got beat 1-0 where Sheffield United won their first game of the season. Obviously you know me by the rant, sat here screaming and shouting. I got a lot of views and whatnot, but we don't want that on Saturday or Sunday, should I say. We want wins, we want dubs for Newcastle. But look, it's always a tough one where you're playing a team that haven't won a game yet in the season. I always fear for that, because it's always Newcastle that give them that win. Look at Derby in their season in the Prem, look at Sheffield United the other year. The amount of teams that we give their first win to, and it could happen on Sunday. They're a good team, they are a decent team. probably sit back a little bit and whatnot, play on the counter a little bit like the AC Milan game, but we've got to show our quality, so let's speak about the tune. So then obviously Newcastle United, I'm recording this the day after we've just played AC Milan, and unreal performance defensively. If we can keep a clean sheet at the San Siro, logic says you should keep a clean sheet at Bramall Lane, but football is a funny old game. In that game versus AC Milan, I want to obviously mention it a little bit more. We were brilliant from start to finish. We were, and I see fans going, "Oh, we're not the same team," and this and that, and I think people forget we are going to the San Siro with AC Milan, who have won the competition 7 times, who are favourites to win Serie A most seasons, or definitely up there. They're a team that are very good, and Newcastle went there and stood their own with a lot of players who came through that academy, which is, I think, is absolutely brilliant. We've got to speak about Sheffield United though. What people are probably forgetting as well, obviously the game's on the Sunday. Newcastle United have got Man City in the Cup on the Wednesday, so is he going to play his best team against City in the Cup and try and go for a Cup run, or is he going to play the best team in the league and then play a couple of fringe players against Man City? I think I'd rather focus on the Prem, to be honest. Obviously the Carabao Cup run last season was unbelievable, but I think this year I'd just hold off, and if we beat City, happy days, but I wouldn't necessarily just go for it. Do you know what I mean? Like playing my best players and then not playing the better players here. I think, I don't know. You know what I mean? It's a tough one to call. Obviously with Newcastle as well, our next Prem game after Sheffield United is Burnley, another relegation team that have yet to win a game before this match week. But we've got to go full gun blazing at Bramall Lane. It's a tough stadium to go to. It's a very intense atmosphere and whatnot, but it's a tough one to call. I don't want to mention too much on the team, but obviously the team against AC Milan played very well, so I don't know if we will see any changes or whatnot. So there will be a predicted team obviously out tomorrow. So yeah, let's give a prediction, boys. It is a tough one to call. Are we going to keep a clean sheet here? If we can keep a clean sheet at the San Siro, can we keep a clean sheet at Sheffield United? I think we will, and I'm going to go with a 2-0 to Newcastle United, but that is the end of the preview, boys. And there we go, boys, that is the end of the preview for our game versus Sheffield United on Sunday. Like I said before, I'm out. I'll be all suited and booted, so if I do a video, I'll be all dollied up for you boys, but that is a crap. I'm basically watching it because I'm at a christening. That's basically it, and I'll be out after. That's really it, but I'll have the game on, and then do your little video for you outside the venue or whatnot. But make sure to leave a like, boys, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It would mean a lot, and I'll see you all for the predicted team. Have a good one, boys.